Hi everyone, it's M&D here. D.
Hi.
Hi Nick. I'm shocked. So today, what we're going to be looking at is making egg pasta from scratch. Now I know this is something new. We did mention it in our last video that this was something we wanted to look at. And the reason that we want to look at making food from scratch is a lot to do with, again, our journey that we've kind of been on over several years about being aware of the ingredients in the food that we're eating, and making sure that they're agreeable to us and not harming us. So I know that might sound quite intense, but we were finding that with processed foods there was a lot of oils in it, like rapeseed oil, wasn't it?
Yeah,
sunflower oil,
just vegetable oils in general,
palm oil, all of these things, and it was making us actually, we were finding afterwards we weren't feeling that great, and also a member of our family, it triggered their asthma, it triggered, and we found every time he has a bag of crisps or something, if he eats way too many or anything too oily that's been sunflower or any vegetable or processed hydrogenated, anything like that, triggers off his wheezing for days.
Yeah, at the same time, fried in lard or beef dripping or butter,
yeah.
So it doesn't seem to.
Yeah, so what we found, and what Dee actually was really observant about and on the ball with, was us changing all of that. We got rid of all of those fats out of our diet. This was years ago. I mean, this was a good 7 years ago.
More than
I'd
that,
say 8, nearly 10. Wow. And we just started having butter. We'd fry things in ghee, lard, goose fat, anything that was a natural fat, beef dripping, and all of these fats that we've all been told they're really bad for you. They're not. Your body processes them much more easily, takes the nutrients out that it needs from these, and then gets rid of it easily. But I was just gonna say, with the vegetable oils and the sunflower oils, all these palm fats, they leave like a sticky residue, like a resin. So if you imagine your cells in your body are like a little sponge. When animal fats and natural fats go through, it literally just go through. The cells take what it needs, uses it to help us and feed us and nourish us, and it excretes the rest. With these other unnatural fats,
plant fats.
It's the plant fats. The cell that's like the sponge. Imagine all the little holes in the sponge getting gunked up with resin, and that's what these fats do.
Vegetable fats. Yeah,
so the vegetable fats, they're not, they're not good for you, basically. So we changed that a long time ago. And
my blood improved. My test. Because when I turned, was it 38 or something, they made me test. Yeah,
they had like a test that you had to do, your blood test. Like, it was a health check. It was turning 40, actually. They make you do a health check.
I was trying already.
So sorry, I didn't take the hint.
No, I thought it was 38, so it was at 40.
Yeah, it's at 40 they get you to do a health check. And whilst myself, who's very overweight, heart came out normal age, blood fine,
everything was
cholesterol was fine, everything's fine.
But
D had the heart of a 50-something-year-old, and it was like, oh my God, it really freaked you out. So we just made the switch.
And the following test came out okay.
Yeah.
After 2 years, I think it was.
Because also we had we used to buy pastries from that were reduced, like from Waitrose, and we thought, they're fine.
Because they're Waitrose,
because they're Waitrose, you think, everything that comes out of there is going to be great. Yeah, if Kate and Willie can shop there, we can. But No, we did, and we found that we felt awful after,
About nearly a year we did it.
Yeah, and we started looking at ingredients very closely, and they were full of these vegetable fats. So unless it literally says all butter, we now don't touch it, do we? Dee's saying, and I'm cutting in, we don't buy from the shop. We try not to buy ready meals from the shop.
I was going to say, we find it hard to buy almost anything because any prepared food, even cookies, they all contain vegetable fat.
Yeah, they do.
Ice
some
creams,
kind.
even
full
things,
of coconut fat. Ice cream. What we tend to do, we use not natural,
we just make our own ice creams. We make everything.
Use milk and sugar and an ice cream machine.
That kind of explains why we started enjoying. When we started making stuff, we found everything is so light. You could have a full entire roast or dinner, or even deep fried chips. We found potato chips were very light. You could eat a whole plate of potato chips fried in beef dripping, or clarified butter, or what is called as ghee. And we found that you could eat an entire plate of such chips, and after a couple of hours you feel light, and my blood especially was a surprise. It all cleared up. And even without exercise, I became a much healthier person.
I guess we all did, really. All of us, the kids, and that as well. So so that's kind of brought us on to wanting to share with you what it is that we do and how we make our food from scratch and everything. Because one of the things about it is, it seems really time consuming and onerous, and you think, I know I used to think, oh God, making bloody pasta from scratch. That sounds impossible, but I was determined to give it a crack, and I have done. And one channel on YouTube, it's actually called Italian Grannies. And it's about Italian grannies that share their cooking knowledge with you, and they showed you how to make pasta. So I was looking at a lot of recipes, trying to get exact amounts, and this is awesome, this recipe. It's really easy because you don't have to weigh anything out. And what we're going to be using is that we've got a Kenwood chef mixer. It's pretty good. It's not the best, but it's not the worst either.
Yeah, you wanted it to be a bit like a review of the Kenwood chef as well, didn't you?
Yeah, just slightly. I just wanted to talk you through, what we, what functions are and kind of how we use it and everything.
Like KitchenAid.
Yeah, it's like KitchenAid. So we started off with a KitchenAid years ago, and it was okay.
Before KitchenAid, we had an older Kenwood.
Yeah, we did. It was awesome. It was. I've got
that's like a 40-year-old.
printed me off. Yeah, it's Kenwood, pretty 701. Old. 70.
We had a 701.
Oh my God, 701A. So if you can see that, that's the one we had. Can you see that? Yeah, on the bottom.
I'll put a picture up.
701A. Really good. We got it for like 20 quid off eBay, and it lasted us for ages.
I think we got into bread.
And we sent it to your mum and dad. In the end, it didn't. It never conked out.
Yeah.
It's still going, and it's like decades old. They are actually a real investment. We've only had to have our service once or twice, but we've had it for
once. We had once with this.
But we've had it for years.
Yeah, that's because
we've had it for how long? 7 years?
That's
8 years?
We
9?
bought it in 2012.
Okay,
because
so
there's a review
years.
on I put in 2013 on Amazon because I was so impressed with it. I put a review on it, and it's still there. I think it's a top review.
Is it?
Yeah, on that Kenwood.
So a little bit just about the Kenwood.
That's a Kenwood chef, so it's slightly different from the Kenwood Titanium or Kenwood Major in that it also has a cooking function. It's a Kenwood.
I shall talk about the cooking function in a moment. I was just going to give a bit of history as soon as you printed it.
Oh yes, yeah.
Don't interrupt. Gosh, give him one chance to do a bloody video and he wants to butt in all the time.
Knock, knock.
Bugger off. So just a bit of history. So the first Kenwood mixer was made by Kenneth Wood. Surprise, surprise! In 1947, from his garage, he kind of made this mixer that he thought would be useful.
From KitchenAid.
Well, but
it was a British answer.
Yeah, it was, and it did
to
lots
an
of
already
things. So that's
established American answer.
well, yeah. So it had 4 speeds, 2 bowls, twin beater mixers, a mincer, a fruit juice extractor, a whisk, and even a buffer for getting your cutlery gleaming in no time.
Yeah, the thing was, it actually became a hit even in America.
Even in America, it says even in the USA. Chromophile. Chromophile. Chef A 901. So in 1962, the Chef Mixer A701A, which is our old one that we loved.
I remember saying that serial number is as old as I am. Do you remember?
Yeah, so that's pretty awesome. The one thing that I do find slightly annoying, it's good but bad as well. There are lots of attachments for it. Yes. We're going to be using them later. There's pasta attachments. There's dough hooks, beater, whisk.
They're all in the garage because it's not practical to have it around.
Well, there's a salad thing. There's a mixer and a chopper for chopping up vegetable. And the main tools for our kitchen are this. The cooker. And
that's the best process.
Knives, they're the best things for doing vegetables, I find. So we've got this knife with a nice square edge, which is really nice for doing vegetables. Just make sure they're nice and sharp, that's all.
Oh, do you want to show them?
I'll show the nice, well, the one you like. And this one, it's another one. Make sure it's nice and sharp, and with the pointed end there, if you make sure it's all sharp enough, you can really do well when you're trying to debone meat and things like that. So these wouldn't get any normal knife. We got these from Japan, wasn't it?
That one is handmade by an artisan.
So that's handmade by an artisan. It has
it's very thin, very light. It's almost like a
family name.
Country there, but
a really good tool. So these are just as much tools as the Kenwood is.
Yeah.
And any of these pieces of machinery, these process vegetables and meat very well, and making sure they're sharp enough is all you really need.
It cuts in such a way that the vegetables don't bleed. So when you cut tomato, it doesn't ooze. It really cuts.
Yeah.
It's not squishing through the tomato.
No.
Like a typical, the Japanese really took the idea of a knife to its extreme. Yeah. So their knives are very thin and very purposeful. Sorry.
I'm going to go on because we said we don't want this video to take long, but it always takes forever because I'm going to do a sauce. I'm going to make lasagna, but what we're really focusing on for the lasagna is making the pasta, the lasagna sheets. That's the main focus. How quickly and easily you can actually make pasta sheets, the lasagna sheets. So that's what we're going to do. Okay, oh my god, do you want to show people my face? Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go by the granny's, the Italian granny's recipe. Okay, so what we're going to do is measure it out, but it's just by hand actually. So
yeah, technically it's about 100 grams per.
Yeah, technically Emily, Emmism, whatever you like, my way, and the granny way to do it. I'm trying to name the way.
Okay.
How rude. So what you need for this, literally you need 3 ingredients to make
Pasta.
homemade egg pasta. This is egg pasta, not semolina and water. This is flour, eggs, and a little bit of water as you're going through.
We don't need water.
Be quiet, please. We made it the other day. It had a little bit in it because it was very dry. I'm going to zip it.
Okay.
You ate it and it was nice, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, right. So, sorry, I've got to be a bit short with him over there, otherwise...
Well, I wouldn't add water.
Well, that's good for you. I did. Right, so what you need to do is, for every person you're cooking for, they say grab a handful of flour. So there's 5 of us, so I know it's for pasta sheets, but I'm going to go
Does it have to be their
for
hands?
the same 5.
The person you're cooking for, do they have to?
I've tried to ignore it. You know they say ignore it and it'll go away. It doesn't. He stays for 10 years. I don't know. I don't know what happens. Right, so literally I've just got a handful. I'm going to put 5 of those in the bowl. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, and what you do is in the middle of the bowl, could you just point this at the bowl for me? You just make a little well. Okay, and that's very important. If you look at the Italian grannies, they tell you to make a well. And what you're going to do is you're going to...
Do you have to make a wish?
You can if you want. I know what I wish for, but again, it never happens, so...
Alright.
So, 5 eggs. So for every handful you add an egg.
Okay.
That's it. It's so easy, isn't it? Go on. I can hear you revving up.
It's for those who like numbers, it's basically 1 egg for 100 grams of flour.
Yeah.
No need for water. Are you counting? Do you know how many eggs have gone in? No swearing.
Yeah, I know. I'm having to stop myself. So make sure that stays as a well if you can.
Okay.
I'm just going to make that look like it's a well.
What's with you and wells?
Well.
Well.
Alright, so you do that. Pretty easy. And what I will do is another time we'll do the same, but I'll show you how to do this by hand. Okay, because it's just as easy, it just takes a bit longer. This does not, it's quite quick. So with the Kenwood, we're going to use this K-beater just to get it all mixed up and sorted. You don't add, just make sure your ingredients are a nice quality, like free range eggs. And make sure your flour's a nice quality. You can make it, you're meant to make it with, it says pasta flour and bread flour.
Yeah, this is Italian flour, remember?
But this is Italian flour we're using, so it's fine. And what we do is we just set that to a minimum and let it do its thing, let it beat in. Because I think when you put the egg in the well, it kind of works it from the inside out to the
Because you're
flour.
trying not to develop the gluten. You want to avoid developing the gluten.
Yeah.
You want to keep flour as just flour.
Yeah. So what I'm going to do is just stop that and peel it off. So I'm going to... Do you want to show everyone this, Dee? I'm just...
Sure.
It's gloopy.
At your service, ma'am.
Good. So it should be. That time. So we just peel that off. Because the one thing I don't like about the Kenwood is everything sticks to the edge. don't know what our kids are doing upstairs.
They're having
So,
combined shower.
oh God. Alright, so we just do that. And you just beat it again, for about 30 seconds. So you see it's going a bit, so slightly clunky.
Yeah, it doesn't have to come together.
No, you don't need to make it, it's just thick. Don't make any comment on that. I know you're egging to.
Is that a pun intended, egging to?
No. It wasn't. Right, so we'll just peel all that off. Just gonna make sure it's all away from the edge. Can you see? Because look,
yes,
there's hidden flour. It's not quite got. So that's one thing I don't like about the Kenwood. There's a slight kind of dome in the middle to have contact point with the bottom, but it means of the appliance. But it means that the edges don't always mix properly. Well, they never mix properly, so you have to do this quite a lot.
Yeah.
Well, this is what I find anyway. Only for like 15-20 seconds, not long at all.
Okay.
Alright, so again I'm going to pick that off now. It's a bit better. I mean, if you're doing it by hand, you'd be incorporating everything in, and that initial bit where you incorporate it in takes a good 10 minutes. And then you have to really work it. So
So the mixer reduces that time.
it kind of cuts it down to like a third of the time it would take, probably something like that. I'm now just gonna. I put the dough hook on. That's because this is a kind of dough, and we're just gonna mix that for a minute until it. So can I just ask you to look again, Dee? So you see that there, it's still a bit floury, not fully mixed or anything, bit lumpy.
Yes.
And I'm just going to mix it on about 1.
Yeah.
So you have minimum then 1. Oh no, minimum, sorry. 1 seems a bit fast. Maybe for about a minute, just because I want it to go slightly smoother. Getting slightly smooth, and you're right, I don't need the extra water in it at the moment. So do you want to have a quick look at what it's doing in there? So look, can you see? That's smoother.
Yes.
Alright, it's slightly sticky. Look, can you see?
Yes. So sticky consistency.
Yeah, sticky, bit smoother, and that's what we want.
Okay, got it.
So that's going to come off. It should. Did you see that? It doesn't really stick as such. It peels off easily.
Yes. So you were trying to knead it just long enough that you can't see the flour particles.
Yeah.
Is that right? Yeah.
Really? Yeah. So what you need to do next, you get rid of that because it's dirty.
Yeah.
And then we're going to get the flour out onto the side. So I'll tidy this up later if that's alright. I just want to show you. So you flour the surface.
Yeah.
Alright, you need to make sure it's well floured because you're going to work it. So what you do is you get the palms of your hand. Oh, this is what I do. Fold it. Oh, that might be a bit too much flour. Fold it. And push.
Yeah.
Because what you want is you want to get it smooth.
Well, you could have just kneaded it a bit longer, I guess, isn't it?
No, you finish this bit off by hand. It doesn't quite do it in mixers.
Oh, okay.
In the way that you would require it. So you do this for about a minute.
So just do it a tiny bit longer in the mixer.
You can, but I think you need the heat from the hands and things like that to kind of do it as well. If you are arthritic, you can use the kneader a bit longer.
Yeah, it has a heat function which starts at 30.
Yeah,
so you could
I don't think
have...
you need it for. I think it's just squeeze and push, fold it, flour it, and do the same. So what you're looking is for it to be quite smooth.
Yes.
And there's a touch test you do as well. So what you do Dee, do you want to come and look at this?
Yes.
You do a poke test. So what you want to do is poke it, and for the dough to spring up on its own.
Okay.
Back into shape. So can you see it's kind of done that, but there's still an indent.
Oh yes, there's still a...
So it's slightly, so I've got to work that slightly longer.
Okay, got it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So now I can actually feel it's feeling better.
Yes.
Smoother.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah? And that's what you're looking for.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Should we have another go?
Yeah.
See if it's done any better.
Okay.
It's still got an indent.
Yeah. Springing back.
Ah, that's swinging back quite a lot. But it needs to spring right back up, so I'm going to
Okay.
do it for a few more. So once I've done this, what I'm going to do, when the spring test is successful,
Yeah.
what you do is you just put it in the fridge for 20 minutes and let it chill and rest.
So,
Yeah, done.
excellent.
So come and have a look at the spring test.
Okay. Oh wow.
Can you see that comes straight
Yeah.
back up?
Yeah, yeah.
And I think that's to do with the egg.
Okay. Wow.
And I think it's like
So you were right.
it's like
it was
hand
just a,
beating an egg
yeah,
in
it's
the
just
flour.
yeah, yeah. It's just a matter of another minute, wasn't it? So
Yeah.
that's a good way to know when to stop.
Yeah.
Actually, that's good.
Yeah, it is. So for my kind of, the way I like to cook, I kind of like to do it like that. I like to have things that are easy without too much information.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm going to go put this in the fridge, and then what we're going to do is look at making a white sauce. I'm just going to go and put this in the fridge, and I'll be back.
Okay.
See?
Okay.
Brilliant. So what I'm going to do is just do the meat quickly. It doesn't take that long. I'm going to start off. I'm just going to rinse this meat off. It's just like mince meat, beef mince. And I always just give it a quick rinse.
Yeah.
Get any chemicals off it that we don't want. And I'm just going to separate that into there like that. So, because this doesn't have to take long. So, I'm going to be using the rationale for this. The oven. If I didn't have that oven and I had a hob, I'd be doing this in a frying pan. Okay, so I'd be using a big frying pan, and I'd be frying off some onion in it, in butter. I'd cook the onion in butter. It's delicious.
So,
sorry, my glasses fell off.
So
I'm going to
how
put
did
those
you
there.
adapt it to the oven, and why do you prefer the oven then?
I adapted it to the oven because all we've got is an oven. So I've done
we
that.
kind of went into the oven. We slowly went off the hob, if you remember.
We did. I mean,
got
you're
rid of
right.
it,
We
yeah.
did have a hob. So
We just found there is less time you stood over. If you want to saute onions in this oven, you just put the onions under the meat, and it just comes out.
the thing with the oven is, if you get the right settings, so say it's on a pan fried setting, which is what I'm going to be using.
Okay, yeah.
You can literally just fry the meat off, put vegetables in with it, fry it for a little bit longer, and then put everything else you need into it. But you can just chuck it in. You don't have to be specific.
Yeah. You don't have to.
And it comes out tasting lovely.
Yeah, better than.
So it's like a magic oven.
Yeah.
You put things in and they just come out tasting nice.
Yeah.
I've just chucked meat in with a bit of butter on it. It sounds so
Yeah,
fattening,
it's
but it's delicious. And then I thought, I want to jazz that up a bit. So salt, pepper, and a bit of cream. And then you cook it in the cream for just 5 minutes, 4 minutes, something like that. And it's delicious.
Yeah.
It's delicious. So.
And it's surprisingly light on you. You could have all that, eat all that. You're hungry again. After
Yeah.
It's just digests so easily.
Yeah, it's lovely. So I'm sorry, I'm going to slightly cheat. I'm going to use
Pre-sliced onion.
pre-sliced onion.
Was it frozen?
Yeah.
Okay.
You want to rinse it?
No,
No.
it should be fine. It's frozen.
So I'm going to do that. Seems like a lot, but what I do is I kind of put it underneath the meat a bit. Like that, and mix it in. And then what I'll also do, so I'm going to heat the oven up. And if you want to look, there's a little beef joint there, or ham joint. You click on that, the top one's pan fried. Click on that. You can do it lightly. I'm going to do mine on a medium. And that's for 7 minutes, so then it just heats up.
Okay.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to... Sorry, I didn't put that right. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little bit of butter.
Pepper?
On top, yeah, a bit of salt and pepper. So what I'm actually going to ask Dee to do, which I forgot to do, is could you set Alexa for 15 minutes? I'm going to presume...
If she listens to me, I
If she listens, she doesn't listen to anybody, does she? So I'm just putting the pepper on now. And I do quite a lot of pepper. I like seasoning, so I do... We're going to use the coarse sea salt, and what this is, I'm just frying off the meat just to get it started. And then what I'll do is afterwards, you'll see what I mean, I'll just plonk everything in. I'll plonk a bit of basil in, a bit more salt and pepper, maybe a bit of stock. Mix it all up and shove it in the oven, and it just cooks. So it's quite amazing.
If you don't have stock, you can add a little bit of bovril, isn't it?
Yeah, I've added a little bit of bovril and all that, because you put tomato in there, so just adding a bit of butter on top. So if you were doing this in a frying pan, you'd literally fry off the butter until, don't burn the butter, just kind of gently fry it, do it on like a medium heat, and then put the mince or the onion in. I'm not Gordon Ramsay, so I just do it the way I do it. So I've done that, and all the flavours and that I'll do afterwards, okay?
Yeah.
So we're just waiting for that oven to heat up. Because what I'll do is I'll fry it off, and then I'll put some vegetables in. We actually use frozen veg. It's really easy. You can use fresh vegetables, whatever you like. But if you want to do this quickly, you just chuck it all in the pan. So I'm going to wait for the oven to heat up.
Oh, so you're not adding the vegetables now? You just...
No, because what happens is, because they're
That's
frozen,
fried, yeah.
because it's frozen, it tends to, if you've got too much frozen stuff in there when you're doing that, it will boil.
Yeah, instead
It boils the meat instead of frying it.
Correct, yeah. Okay.
So I'm trying to fry it. So you will.
Guessed that might be the reason.
Yeah, I mean, I know I've got the butter on it. Onions really nicely.
Yeah. We use this size pan because it fits the dishwasher, but you can use a bigger pan.
And we've got a lot of kids. A lot of mouths to feed. So that's going to be a little while. So I'm just going to just a white sauce, like a bechamel sauce, just to go in the lasagna. So like just in a layer and on the top, which is what I usually do. And this is making it from scratch in the Kenwood, using the induction heater. But if I was using a saucepan, I'd literally just put some butter and flour in the bottom, do it on a medium heat, you stir it until you get a nice paste. And what you do is gently add milk in.
Yeah.
Just bit by bit, add a little bit of milk in, a little bit of milk until you've got a non-lumpy sauce. So yeah, that's what I'm going to attempt using the Kenwood.
Yeah,
about
that way.
99 on the induction heater. The induction heater does actually kind of slightly heat differently.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is, I don't know what this one's called.
That's it, fleximeter.
It's a flexi-bit. So really, that's very good.
It
The
wipes stuff off
plastic
the
on
sides.
it withstands the heat. Sorry, that it is a bit battered, I've got to say. I found some more in the cupboard.
Okay.
Just to say, sorry. So yeah, it's good for sauces because it just continually mixes.
Mm.
So what I'm going to do is wash my hands because I keep touching my hair. Okay, so
Go on, quick.
I'm going to put the. I'm sorry, I'm going to put.
Well, the viewers are going to think it takes ages to cook food.
Well, it doesn't. I'm waffling. So what? How much butter? About that much.
Yeah.
Right, take it up to about 50 grams or something.
Yeah.
Love, would you please get me a spoon? Just from spoons in, it's a spoon box. We'll do 1, 2. That's enough to get it started, is it?
Yeah. You're just doing it visually. There's no danger of it burning like it is on a hob under fire.
Yeah,
So that's
because,
another advantage.
yeah,
of
'cause
Kenwood.
what you were saying to me and Dee and I were talking about this before. So the induction heater, these bowls, it's actually
In the bowl.
in the bowl, and it just connects to the base.
Yeah.
So it gives it quite a fair heat, and it works quite well.
So I'll just show what's happening.
Yeah, see if you have a look, it smells nice. It's very buttery, it smells delicious. Yeah.
Oh, that sound is the oven saying
I'm ready.
ready to put stuff in.
Right, so that just goes in.
Yay.
So if you look in here, you'll see that that's gone into a room. I think it'll come out okay. I'm just going to, could you switch Alexa off, love?
Alexa, off. Okay, you just want to restart, please?
Yeah, sorry. So I'm just going to add milk just to make this, just add it gently and let it mix. Just a little bit at a time. Because initially that's going to go lumpy.
Yeah.
Okay, oh no, stick. So just add some more in. I'm sorry, I'm not giving exact measurements because I do it all by looking. But I've put quite a bit of milk in, but it still needs a lot more.
Oh yeah, you can just keep adding milk as it disappears.
It's slightly lumpy, but I'm just going to leave it to do its thing. It'll smooth out. Okay, so that's heated. I've added quite a bit of milk. I had a full litre there, and I've added 500 mils.
Okay.
There, so it's been about 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So far. Trying to get rid of the flowiness and the lumpiness. But these sauces, as they heat up, they get thicker because of the flour.
Yes.
So this is still quite thick.
Yeah. Like me?
Like you. Yeah. So I'll just show you. So that's been there for that long. But look. It's not a consistency I want at all. So we're just going to keep at that.
See what you mean, yeah. Shall I show?
Yeah,
do you wanna show the consistency?
The consistency is better.
Okay.
Look. It needs
Yeah.
maybe a bit more cooking. It tastes quite floury.
Okay.
So I'm going to do that. But what I'm going to do as well is just add salt and pepper in.
Yeah, you can
Major
also
mistake.
add a tiny amount of water if you feel you've added way too much milk.
Yeah. Looking really nice actually. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to have a taste. That's alright.
Yeah.
Okay, so that tastes quite milky.
Another spoon.
So, yeah, so what I'll do is add a bit more salt.
Yeah. some people add a hint of mustard just to take away the sweetness.
Oh.
You want a hint of mustard?
Yeah.
Do you want?
Thank you. Oh no, I just chopped the spoon in. How did I manage that? Sorry, that nice clean.
I'll get you another one.
Oh my word. What's going on with that? Flick up. Right, let's try again. What, a hint like that?
Yeah, that should be.
If you want to do it from everything from scratch, you can. If you don't, an easier way to do it is just buy a cheese sauce.
What funny ingredients?
But this one will be nice, and what we'll do is I'll use it in the lasagna, and then I'll top it off with a bit of cheese on top.
Okay,
I'm just gonna. Do you want to show? So that's, can you see it dripping off?
Yeah, that's very nice.
And that's how it comes out on the induction,
Okay.
which is pretty good. You don't have to stand there stirring it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would say
Tastes good.
always taste your food, so you know where you're going with your cooking. That's what I would
Slightly salty, but it's nice.
Oh, that's okay. We didn't.
Yeah.
There's all the vegetables to come.
So yeah, that's lovely.
Okay.
So what we'll do is we'll leave that to one side. I'm going to put the butter to one side. Just turn this around because
Oh yeah, we're
gonna do the pasta, isn't it? So there's a little switch here. Dee, did you want to show on the Kenwood? Just a little switch there.
Yeah, that
Pull
comes.
that out.
Exposes a hole.
Yes. No comment. And what we do is there are two pasta attachments that we have.
Yeah.
This one cuts it into strands like the normal spaghetti, but we're not using that today. But that's one attachment that just fits in really easily. That I just wanted to show you so you can see the teeth inside. It's pretty good really, but I don't know how much these things cost. That's the only thing with the Kenwood. It's great, you do get lots of attachments, but there's like too many.
Yeah. You need space to keep them.
Yeah, so we've got
It's
a whole
like,
cupboard.
It's like a jack of all trades.
Yeah.
With that sauce Emma just made, it could be smoother. Say if you were whisking, you would have managed to get it smoother, couldn't you?
Yeah. That ready. You've got the different sizes on the side.
Yeah.
1, 2, all the way around to 9.
Yeah.
So 9 is the thinnest. Yeah.
1
is the biggest.
widest, yeah.
And that's what we would start off with.
Yeah.
And
try not to
gradually,
skip,
slowly work our way up through it.
Okay.
Now make sure you've got a pan of flour just beside ready. I'm just going to go and get the flour, the dough, sorry. So what we're going to do is put a little bit of flour on the side and going to cut this into 5 pieces.
Okay. I'll just wash my hands in case.
Yeah, he's going to have to help me with this. And like yesterday or the day before, he's not going to stick a spatula in it as it's moving and get it stuck.
That's a warning. It does have warning stickers on it. Don't stick your finger.
Yeah, it does tell you not to, but
it will take your finger off.
yeah.
So if the pasta doesn't go in, don't try to push it with your fingers. Just
Be patient with it.
make the edge of the pasta thin enough for
Yeah.
it to catch. You'll see when Emma does it now.
So I've cut it into 5 pieces.
So roughly flatten it with your hands.
Yeah, I'm going to roughly flatten it. Going to make sure the edge is quite flat.
Yeah.
Just because of going into the...
Yeah, the reason you just said.
Yeah.
Then you just flour it on both sides. Only need...
Like so. Before you have your pan of flour there ready.
Yeah.
Alright.
And introduce the sharp edge in lowest speed. You need to take the heat off.
Oh, sorry. Right. Try to flatten it and then, oh look, it's going through. And as you can see, that's good. The attachment's pretty good, actually.
You should never wash it.
Yeah, don't ever wash it. You're right, Dee.
Only just wipe it with a towel, dry towel, and put it away.
So that's on the number, 1 setting.
So,
Okay, it comes out like that, but we want it thinner.
yeah, so you put one step
So
up.
we do it to number 2. So if you want this, you see, it's a bit of a labour of love, but it's worth it because it comes out tasting delicious. And you know exactly what's gone in.
Yeah.
There's been no other process, so that's number 2.
The pasta is so delicious that it's children just like eating it on
They
its own.
gobble it. They're like
Yes.
little piglets. They just gobble it up and they're like, can we have some more?
Yeah.
That's why we have to make a lot.
Oh, there was something you said. When you portioned it into
Okay, so
5,
that's number 3.
allow 1 portion per person, was it?
Yeah. So usually that's what you do.
That's, in numbers,
we're
that
on
is
number
about 100
3
grams of
now.
flour to 1 egg.
Yeah.
And each person needs a minimum of that. The pasta
Yeah,
is so delicious. They
yeah,
need at
yeah,
least
yeah.
that.
So that's on 3. Okay, so I'm going to take it to... Sorry, that was on 4. This is on 5.
So
it's
basically
going
what
to-
you're doing is you're going down, going up a number
To
each
make
time
it
you
thinner.
insert it. Yeah.
Because we're making lasagna sheets, so I want them to be quite thin. So when I've made it by hand before, I've had to hand roll it. That's on 5. And because I'm not really good at hand rolling, it came out very thick. So that's how you can use that. A little roller.
Pardon?
I said that's how you can use that little roller on the top.
Yeah, I
So,
didn't fancy it that
what's
much.
this?
It would have been fun even without it.
Is that, I can't read it, I took my glasses off.
You're
6.
on 6. You need to go up
Right, so
to...
that's 6.
You could go up to...
I think 7 might, I don't know. This is 7. I want it quite thin.
Yeah. You could go up to 8.
Alright, so this is on 7. It's going through very well actually.
If you're making spaghetti or linguine, you stop there. At this stage.
7, yeah.
Yeah,
So you can
stop
see it's, from what we started with, that's very slim.
Yeah.
I think I might try 8
Okay.
and see how it goes. I think 8 might be just enough for a nice...
Yeah.
Yeah, look at that. That's lovely. And it's very thin. Can you see? You can see.
Yeah.
You can
it
see
should
my
be
hand
nice,
through
yeah.
that,
Yes, that's
and that's just right for lasagna.
because when it cooks, it will have the right thickness.
Yeah. Okay, so that's on the 8 setting. All right.
Yeah, thank you.
Alright,
So we're
so,
going to do that with each portion. I might
yeah.
stop the video. I might run out of space anyway.
Yeah. Okay.
And we'll restart when all the other 4 portions are done.
Yeah. All right.
Okay,
See you
thanks.
in a minute. There's more in this one, Dee, so I don't know where the hell we're going to hang it.
Okay, where are we at?
We've done all of the pasta lasagna sheets. Those are slightly stuck together. Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah.
So we've got those ready. The meat's just going to come out in a moment. Just going to get some basil ready This is where we
You
lump.
want me to put the flour away?
Yes, please. Thank you, love. That's really helpful. Get our silicone.
No.
Ow. Silicone mix out. Ready.
There's 20 seconds left.
Yeah, so that's the meat on the pan fry setting. Just 7 minutes, cooks it through really nicely. You can see it's all bubbly and brown. The onions will be cooked nicely in that. So I'm going to get that out. Oh, I haven't cleaned the side off, sorry. That's very floury. Okay. So just leave that there for the moment. So what I'm going to do next, that'll be fine, that's all cooked.
Yeah, the onions are nice and caramelized.
Yeah. Well, because the butter's in there and you've got the meat as well, it will come out really nice. So I'm going to add in some frozen veg. You can be more eloquent and cut all your own up and do it all super duper. I'm just doing it for speed.
So there is, as far as health is concerned, frozen vegetables retain all the nutrition. There's nothing added to it. It's just quite literally vegetables.
It's frozen
cut
as
and
it
frozen.
comes. Yeah, that's it.
So that's fine, I guess. It's keeping with our ethos.
So I've just done a layer there. I'm just going to mix that in because it is frozen after all. So I'll just mix that because what I'll do is I'm going to put other bits and bobs in and then put it back in the oven.
Yes.
This is just some tomato we had from before, and what I'm going to do is open up the Solana. Sorry.
It was quite nice, wasn't it? We used it for the pizza. So I went and got some more because it's also from Italy. And
So
it's
are they
actually,
full? Are they full ones or chopped?
they are cut.
Oh, nice. So
That's the right
That's
consistency.
brilliant.
It's very rich in colour. Fantastic.
Lovely.
And had a nice, nice taste, fruity taste.
yeah, it was nice on the pizza. So I'd always just rinse. It's really grotty, really. I just rinse out
No,
the.
get everything out. The other thing is, the recycling men don't take it if you haven't rinsed it.
No, I know. That's what I thought. Kind
Do
of
they
kills
go
two
and fill
birds
it up with tomato again?
I don't know what they do. I think they just issue a fine and try and get money from you. I think that's what they try to do. So I'm just mixing that all in. I know it looks really gross, doesn't it? But I swear it'll come out delicious, this meat.
So is it going to go back in the oven?
It will do, yeah. But not.
When do the pasta and stuff go in it? And the sauce we made?
I just cooked that for like 5-10 minutes on a low heat just to get all the flavours started.
Okay. Yeah.
And then I'll transfer that into another container
Yeah.
because I need this container to do the lasagna in.
Yes.
And then I'll start portioning it out and stuff. Okay, I'm going to use some fresh basil
Yeah.
to flavour. And I'll cut that up. But again, we went on about this basil. I went on about this basil in the last.
We do.
I love basil. I'm just
I
gonna.
can smell it here.
It's lovely, isn't it?
delicious,
I'm going to
yeah.
put some. Because this is quite meat intensive.
Yeah.
I'm going to put a few big leaves in, and I'm going to chop up about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 smaller leaves. Okay, so just mix that in. The water from the vegetables is going to,
Keep it nice.
yeah, but I might just add a little bit of stock.
Yeah, it was in the freezer. So
just to give it a bit of a beefy taste. Just going to add a little bit of hot water. Much until it is. So I add it just so that it kind of, can you see it just gently covers it?
Yes.
Unstirred.
Yes.
So what I'm going to do, because that will just go now, look.
Yeah.
If you see, that just disappears in.
Mm.
So I wanted to say also that other vegetables that you might like, a bit more traditional, we use vegetables like this because it bulks it up because we've got a lot to feed, isn't it?
Yeah.
But if you're doing a smaller lasagna, you could maybe just use like mushrooms in there with the mushroom and onion, and I used to put peppers in as well. I like those together with the
I've got
tomato.
some peppers. Do you want
everything.
some? In the
Oh, that might be nice actually.
Okay.
I think it just adds a nice little taste. I've missed mushrooms today. We haven't got any mushrooms. So I'm adding some more salt in because I know I did actually season it when I put it in to cook before. But thank you, love. The liquid and everything just soaks up the. Whoops, sorry. The liquid and everything just soaks up the flavour. So, and because we got kids, they don't necessarily like garlic so much in things. They like garlic bread though, which is weird.
Well, it's kids, isn't it?
Yeah. So I don't put garlic at the moment in our bolognese. But that's why the basil's in. So I'm just going to give it a quick.
But if you do want to put garlic, you should put it much earlier before the vegetables.
Yeah,
Otherwise,
so
if you add it now, you'll get a raw garlic taste. You won't have time to fry.
so that's nice. It gives a
Remember,
little bit
your
more salt.
bechamel sauce has a bit more salt.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm going to put a bit of pepper in as well. I'm just going to mix that in. I'm just going to do that on 200 for 10 minutes. Just to let all the flavours mix up, and then we'll...
Is that dry heat or do you...
Yeah, that'll be the dry heat. I'm not going to add anything else at the moment. I just want it to... I just want it to heat up a bit, the vegetables to cook a little bit, and that's it. So, all right. So,
What, for 10 minutes?
yeah, 10 minutes. So, if that was in a pan, I'd do the same in a pan, just for 10 minutes to let it all cook together. If it was in the frying pan,
Okay.
I just cook it all together for that time on a lower heat, probably.
Yeah, we
A
can
low
put
to
the...
medium heat.
We're
So
finished with the pasta. We can put
Yeah,
these
yeah,
things
yeah.
away and
yeah.
do the fine.
Okay, so I'm going to get that out. Can you see it's quite liquidy?
Oh, wait, let me do that.
It's quite liquidy. It smells really nice, actually.
Yes, yeah, I can.
It's browned on top.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll leave that like that for the moment. So I'm just going to stir that, have a taste, see if it needs anything else.
There is a setting pasta and sauce.
Yeah, I don't want the lasagna on that.
Okay.
Thank you.
What
It
do you
never
use?
quite works.
I was
the
just
way I
talking about
want
the
it
programs
to.
here. So which one do you use?
Oh, I just use the normal oven.
Okay, no steam. Okay.
That tastes really nice. Let's just transfer it into here.
Oh, so you're using a second pot?
Yeah, just because
You want to layer it?
I'm going to layer it.
Okay.
Alright,
So you got the bechamel sauce there ready, is it?
yeah. Yeah, the bechamel sauce is already. Pasta sheets are ready. This is a bit, this might be slightly fluidy.
Well, we can adjust that in the oven. You just reduce the moisture in the oven a bit, and it will disappear.
Okay. So I've done a layer there. I'm going to put some of our paste on. So I'm going to try and cut that to size actually. So that'd be about the right length for this pan. One. And you put it on raw. You know, it's fine. You don't have to worry about cooking it. Sorry, I didn't mean to knock you. So you just overlap and put it on.
Okay.
Like that. Try and get it to the side if you can.
Yeah.
Don't know if we can. I don't like to waste any.
Yeah, yes.
So I'll be trying to use it all as much as possible.
Yes.
All the bits I've just cut off will go there.
Yeah.
Any scraggly bits I'll use to fill any holes.
Yeah,
Try to make sure
it did stick together a little bit.
It did stick together a bit. That was my time.
We didn't have space, and so we had to just put them on top of each other.
But it's okay because
you can get stands where it's got many arms, and you can hang the pasta to dry.
Yeah.
While you wait for the sauce and stuff to be cooked.
So now I'm going to do a layer of the bechamel sauce on there.
Yeah.
As well.
Yeah.
You can put as much or as little as you like on it. As long as you've got, I can get 2 servings from this, so I just need to make sure I've got enough to go on the final layer on top. That's all. Okay. I might do a layer of that. So I've got a lot of meat actually.
So now you do another layer of.
Yeah,
so pasta doesn't go on top of that, or
no. Yeah.
It
Pasta
does.
goes on top of this.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm not doing this by any like specifically traditional method.
Yeah,
it's
that's
just
a disclaimer.
how I do
It's
it.
an anglicized.
It's just
anglicized Italian cooking.
yeah, Amarandi's lasagna is no one else's. It's just how we're making it.
Well, it's just to say, fresh food for children.
Yeah.
It's not that hard.
Fresh food, I think, is the main thing. Is what we want. There's a bit of a gap there at the top.
Okay.
That there. There's a slight break here. It's a bit like just a bit of a bodge job really. Okay, I shouldn't say that, should I?
The pasta will absorb some of the fluidiness, isn't it?
Yeah. It's just making sure your oven's hot enough to kind of. So I can just use all of that. Then I'll put another layer of pasta and then.
Yeah.
Alright, so I'm gonna. And all the juices off that are quite nice. So
yeah, so at least.
that's quite a big one. I didn't realise there was a kilo of meat.
Well, I think it was 750 grams.
Still quite a good amount, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, that's the size we always buy, I think. For that is a 2/3 of a gastronome size. That
Okay.
That pan. That's
Oh, okay.
any leftover will not go waste, isn't it? All it needs is you can cut them up, even if it dries completely, but it doesn't have to dry if you freeze it. You can, or refrigerate it in a closed plastic bag.
Yeah.
No,
because we've got a bit left over there. Quite a bit actually. We've probably got enough to make a small lasagna.
I was going to say you could slice them up and then it becomes like tagliatelle or something like that.
Yeah, easily. Easy, I'll do it. You just Let's get a better piece.
Yeah, you can just do a small.
Yeah, do you want me to do a small
Just
sample?
yeah, a small sample.
You'd literally just cut it. Whoops. There you go, take it. You do it thicker than that though.
Yeah, there's another way to roll it and then slice them like that and then.
Oh yeah, you can do that as long as it's well floured.
Yeah. And
Sharp knife. 1, 2. And it just unfolds.
yeah, that's like puppet. What's the white one? Puppet drill, something like
Something like that.
Yeah.
See, so you just unfold it and it comes out like that.
that. You can, if you cut it thinner, it's like a linguine.
Yeah. It's just eggs and flour. There's nothing else. There's no preservatives, nothing. No rubbish. Absolutely no rubbish in this.
Yeah.
It's just pure, unadulterated yumminess. That's what it is. I'm going to use a bit of that just for the edge. Oh, sorry, making a lot of noise there.
Oh, so you're going to.
Do the top layer of the bechamel sauce.
Yes.
And I try to make sure it covers as much as possible.
So what's your review of Kenwood? Is it a good buy for us to recommend people? What's your suggestion?
There are better machines out there, but it's a good all-rounder.
Yes. I was going to buy a Thermomix, if you remember, but I leaned towards this one, partly because we had at that time we had a KitchenAid. We had just given our Kenwood 701 and got ourselves a KitchenAid, and we thought if we want the cooking function and sauce function, the cooking chef does it, isn't it?
It's pretty
And
good.
Thermomix is not great at kneading, whereas this is very good at kneading dough for bread. So, what about the cheese business? What is?
Yeah, so I'm going to grate. Oh, dear, could you get me a plate?
Is that too large?
Slightly, but it'll do. I know this man's logic there, so. I know it's late, but I can still. So I'm just grating up cheese. It's up to you how much you put on. I know I'm leaving this all a bit free and easy, but.
Well, we're British, so we use cheddar. We live right near cheddar.
Yeah,
actually, so that's our local cheese.
Cheddar is our cheese. Okay, so I just grated a load because I love cheese on lasagna. And I just sprinkle it all over the top quite generously. When I can speak, quite generously. I try and get it to the corners. I might even add a bit more on. I do like a cheese.
Well, it should balance with that much meat, isn't it?
Yeah, and you've got a lot of white sauce there as well, so more.
Yeah, there was about a pint of milk, was it, or a bit more than a pint?
What, in the bechamel?
Yeah, that's
yeah, easily a pint. Yeah.
And
but you know, this meal is quite heavy. There's meat, there's cheese, there's sauce, there's pasta, egg pasta. So you might spend a lot, but you'll be full up. And you'll eat well, and you're eating nice food. You're not eating rubbish. You know, if you want to go a step up, you get the organic meat. That. I just need to go and get some parmesan. So I'm just going to grate a bit of fresh parmigiano. Okay, so that's from Tesco's. That parmigiano.
Yeah.
Their finest range. It's really nice. It smells lovely. That's all done. and then we're going to make the lasagna. We're going to shove it in the oven, and then that's it, all done. So we'll show you the end product, but basically this is the lasagna. It weighs a ton.
Yes.
This is the lasagna.
There will be none left after
so.
the kids have been at it.
Or mummy or daddy have been at it. Okay, and that's it for now. Do you want 20 minutes?
Yeah.
Shouldn't take any longer than that.
So no steam needed because there's quite a bit of
yeah.
oil in there.
Yeah, I don't know how the liquid's going to fare in that actually. It might be too runny, but I don't know.
Put 80 or 70%.
What's that?
Yeah, 70. So it'll dry it out a little bit. So
okay, that's what I want really, because it'll be very watery otherwise.
Yeah.
Okay, that's it guys for the moment.
See you in 20 minutes.
See you in 20 minutes for an update. Bye.
So I'm just showing how it's doing. 5 minutes in. Oh, look. So we are. That's 10 minutes in.
Good. It's very liquidy though.
Yeah, I've set it to dry. So
it'll need it.
Yeah. So I've reduced the drying function to maximum. So.
Well, it's got a bit mad in there.
Yeah, that's because there is a sort of a negative vapor pressure, so it'll draw the liquid out. It really dries it. So you can hear the drying function. That sound is the drying function.
Okay. Lovely.
That's the reason you're seeing so many bubbles. So if there is steam in there, you will not see those bubbles. The steam will push the vapor pressure and prevent it from bubbling away.
Okay.
So that's about a minute left.
Is there a knife? Yep. Is there a serving? Or is that the long one? Okay, there we go.
Oh, nice.
Can you see it? It looks good.
Excellent, thank you. And yourself?
Yep. Okay, so that's the lasagna.
Wow.
That's really good.
Sauce.
I hope so.
Yeah, because we are eager to show the video. Yeah, take it out.
That's probably not the best way to do
Yeah,
it.
that's yes. Wow. And that's the money shot. Oh, do you want to turn that plate around so I can show the
Yeah.
layers?
There we go.
That's
Get a nice shot of it.
yes, perfect.
I'll just try a bit with the. So that's. I'm just trying that. It's steaming hot.
Yeah.
Now that's the pasta.
Yes.
And even when it came out that thin, it's kind of gone that thick when
Yes,
it's cooked.
yes.
Can you see that? Do you
Yeah,
know what
yeah.
I mean? It's gone quite thick.
Yes.
It's
Already
nice.
it's starting to tighten up.
Mm.
Is enough salt?
Mm.
Okay. Can I
Oh, that's really nice. It's saucy. It's saucy. It's nice. Really nice. Oh, you've got a big lump of broccoli in there. It's very hot though.
Okay, I love
It's really creamy and
that's beautiful.
nice and
Mm.
delish. I'm going to have to eat a
That
bit.
white sauce you made is amazing.
Yeah, it's nice.
Absolutely fantastic. So yes, so now we are going to call the children over and that will all disappear. And thank you, Em, for a wonderful demonstration of what
alright.
cooking for the children as well as the Kenwood chef.
Mm.
And with the leftover pasta.
Yeah,
Just
we've
I
made
want to
it
show
into
that
a-
on the camera. So any leftover sheets, what Emma did was just
Made it
cut
into a
them up.
tagliatelle.
sort of, yeah. So that'll
A
be
thin
great
one.
tomorrow if the children want a little bit of pasta with some
little
sauce
cooking
of
like
pesto.
2 minutes.
It's fantastic. Great, thank you, Em.
That's all
Thanks,
right, Dee.
everybody.
Thanks a lot.
Oh,
And I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope that you find it quick
we might have
and
to bend down a little bit.
easy. I hope you find it easy and enjoy it, and just enjoy making it. You don't have to be perfect with the amounts or anything.
Yes, it's all about just going
Yeah.
for it. Make mistakes.
The egg pasta.
Is-
Remember,
is-
every handful,
1 egg.
1 egg.
Yeah.
That's it.
And
That's
that's
all
for
you
one
need to know.
each person.
So 1 egg per person, and that's
Yeah.
it. So just do that.
Yeah.
The actual preparation with the Kenwood is about 20 minutes, and without it will be about 30. That's just for the kneading and getting everything together and mixing it.
Yeah.
Okay,
And 20 minutes baking time.
So I mean, just for the pasta itself, because you don't have to. You can use that pasta.
You can do the meat while the pasta is happening.
Or you don't have to use it for lasagna sheets. You can cut it to whatever shape you want.
Yeah, and you can do that.
So yeah,
And just serve it as pasta.
easy peasy.
Okay.
And you know what's going in. You know what you're putting into yourself, your children, your family, and your loved ones. So
Thanks, Anne.
thanks a lot. Bye.
Thanks, everybody. Bye.